see over at the Green Bank.
That's so cool.
You're gonna have a lot of whistles in this episode. Put a lid on it, you crack open a beer, and you wait.
It looks like someone just got up one day and just didn't come back.
We're here right now in Durbin, and we're at East Fork Campground. In this episode, we're going to be cooking up some chili on the campfire you see behind me. We got the Dutch oven going for the first time in a long time, actually, so we truck that thing around everywhere, and we hardly ever use it. Every time we do use it, the stuff turns out pretty good, so that's what we're doing. We're making chili. Beautiful campground here, beautiful setting, nestled here in the mountains of Durbin. It's just beautiful. I had the drone up earlier. I mean, you wouldn't believe the landscape here it's just phenomenal. We're on the East Fork of the Greenbriar River. And then throughout the episode, tomorrow Rachel's going to be meeting back up with us, and we're going to be going back to Cass. We're going to Whittaker Station, which they have an old rebuilt logging camp at Whittaker. So that's going to be a 2-hour ride. Should be a lot of fun. We should get to see some of the landscapes and views. We've been by there before, but we've never actually stopped and checked it out. And I think it's going to teach us something about the logging camp. So we're excited for that. Beautiful day here in Durbin, and let's get some chili on the fire. We're starting off the show with a pound of deer meat, and then I'm not sure how much of an onion she cut up, but I think usually about a small onion and a jalapeno pepper. I always add green peppers, but that upsets people's stomachs sometimes, so we're not doing that today. Just onion and jalapeno. To it we've added garlic, tomato sauce, tomatoes. Usually use like 2 cups of diced tomatoes that we grow, but you can use a jar of like crushed tomatoes or diced tomatoes, whatever you want. A can of corn, or in this case it's homegrown, cut off the cob. And then Worcestershire sauce and some special seasonings, tomato paste. And that's it. Pretty simple. Alright, so you put a lid on it, you crack open a beer, and you wait. Who knows how long this may take, but yeah, it should cook up and let all the flavors mix together. Like if I do it at home in a slow cooker, several hours. It's 5:30 now, we'll probably eat about 7. You want to keep it high enough off the fire it don't burn, and low enough that it's cooking. What are the dogs doing? It's okay. Like that? It's a good boy. Good morning, here from Durbin, West Virginia. We're here at the end of the line. Back there you can see the town of Durbin. If you do the Greenbriar Express from Cass, you'll have a little bit of the layover here to explore the town. But then also there's this rail trail here, which obviously the railroad used to keep on going. And we're just going to walk down here a way and see if there's anything interesting to see. then we'll be on our way over to Cass shortly to ride the train to Whittaker. So lots of cool stuff to see in this episode. And then I think we're going to go to the Green Bank Observatory later as well. So that'll either be in this week's episode or next, depending on how long this ends up being. William, what kind of tractor's that? John Deere? John Deere green? Well, good afternoon again, friends. We are back here at Cass Scenic Railroad today. We're going to be riding the train up to Whittaker Station. It ought to be coming into Cass here shortly because there was one that went out at 11 o'clock, and I believe it's a 2-hour ride, and it's 2 after 1 now. So, yeah, should we expect the train shortly? I did just hear a whistle from up the mountain somewhere, so that's probably it. Yeah, then we're going to go in the store and do some shopping and things like that while we're waiting for Rachel to get here. I just love some of the rolling stock they've got around here at the Cass Depot. Those, of course, are the cabooses from yesterday that we rode. You can check out last week's episode for that. Pennsylvania Railroad, coal car, C&O over there. Pittsburgh and West Virginia, I think, is the box car down the way. Well, there you have it, friends. Shay number 4 is in the house. Now, I believe that number 4 is one of the shays that pulled me up to Bald Knob back in July of 1997. So, if that don't make me old, then I don't know what does. But that's how I came to know about this whole Cass place and this awesome situation that they've got going on here. My parents brought me here as a kid, and it's one of my favorite memories. That's why this is one of my favorite places, and super excited to get back behind number 4. Alright, so we talked about this a little bit yesterday. These geared locomotives, there's 3 styles: the Shay, the Heisler, and the Climax, which we rode yesterday. The Shays have these pistons here which drive this drive shaft that turns all your wheels, and it's geared really low. It'd be like driving in first gear with your car 10 mile an hour everywhere you go. These things can handle, they told us yesterday, 10 to 12% grades, whereas like a modern diesel locomotive with a load behind it can only do like 2 or 3% grades. So it's an amazing amount of power and torque behind these steam locomotives. Steam in general just is a powerful source. And these were designed for logging, all 3, the Shays, Heislers, and Climax. They were built to push these cars up the mountain. They loaded logs on them and drug them back down to here in Cass, where the West Virginia pulp mill just over the way there. And so yeah, this was one of the biggest boom towns for logging in the eastern United States back in the day. So these shays, they look kind of funny because as you can see, the boiler is on this side of the locomotive because they've got all that big heavy drive gear on the other side. So like if you was to look at it from the front, it's gonna be totally look lopsided. And yeah, so people say they look kind of funny.
Carefully. Lightly.
Well, Rachel made it here. She's a little stressed out, but she made it here with Sarah.
It's a hard drive.
It's not an easy drive back and forth, but with lots of time to spare, so that's good. Now we're just headed up to Whittaker, get some concessions there, check out all the logging stuff. You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited because I thought it looked really, really cool when we went past them the last time we went through, but that train doesn't stop, so I'm excited to get to stop and poke around up there.
It would almost be nice if they extended the Bald Knob trips like half an hour and gave you half an hour at Whittaker and then went the rest of the way up and stopped twice.
That'd be cool.
I mean, that would just be my suggestion to the world. But, okay. We should be leaving. They've been on pace to be about 5 minutes late, so we have about 15 minutes left till we depart.
No, it's not like purple. We always found that out.
So over there's the mill, and I just found out on a sign here yesterday, they actually, West Virginia Pulp and Paper had a mill in Tyrone, Pennsylvania, which is right near our hometown. But yeah, that's what remains of the mill. We got the water tower right here.
Across the road.
And all kind of stuff here at the cast shops we're going to be passing here in just a second. Right here, you're going to see shay number 5. It's been at cast since it was built. Over 100 years it's been here. This is Big 6. We seen her yesterday as she pushed the train up to Spruce. And then Warren Keppel, number 9, Climax, that pulled the cabooses for us yesterday. And what a fun time that was. So you can check out last week's episode for that. She's still hot after yesterday's run. This train today is going to have to work quite a bit harder than yesterday. Yesterday's run was a flat stretch of track. Today we're climbing elevation quite a bit up to Whittaker. Of course, it's not all the way up to Bald Knob, which is 4,600 some feet. Bald Knob is the second highest point in West Virginia. We're going several hundred feet up and 8 or 9% grades all the way. You can hear the locomotive now. She's working. This is a steep hill we're going up. we're not sure if it'll show up in the footage, but we've just seen a deer in the woods. They're so used to the trains, they don't even care. They're just standing pretty much right next to the rails. We're still climbing. All that West Virginia cold pushing us up the hill. The way these logging railroads work is to get up the steep grades, they have the switchbacks. So you go up, and then they had to throw the switch, so we would be going up here. But you can really see with the depth of like the grade that we're going. I mean, that's so much lower than here, and it's not that far apart. I mean, 8% grade or 9% grade, you go up 9 feet for every 100 feet. So even if you're just going up to Whittaker, you still get some awesome views of the West Virginia countryside. It is beautiful up here, that's for sure. We still have a little while to go. It takes a good while to get up the mountain, not as long to get back down. One more switchback. Slowing down. We're starting to get some good views. We're starting to really gain some elevation up here. So we've made it up here to Whittaker Station.
It's really pretty.
The scenery up here is really nice.
There's a cool tower, some old equipment over there.
Yeah, we're gonna go check out this old logging equipment because this was an old logging camp. Yeah, you can see a lot from up here. They have a concession stand with these pepperoni rolls, which are pretty good. Get the ones with banana peppers on it, I recommend. No. Rachel says no, but I say it's awesome. Must be a train coming off of Bald Knob, maybe, because I hear a whistle up that way. So that's interesting. So these are the logging shanties, is what they call them. And this is what the people in the logging camp would have lived in. This, I think, was Hungarian workers that it says was here. And we've gone 4 miles and up over 1,000 feet. Cass is at 2,300 and we're at 3,000 something. So, yeah, a ton of elevation we've gained to get up here. Now, you can hear number 11's goofy whistle in the background. And it's just over there, and you can see the coal soot coming up out of the smokestack. So Bald Knob is that way. I believe it goes around. Yep. Up there somewhere. Like I said, second highest point in West Virginia. Some great views up there. Like if you've got the time and all that stuff, definitely worth checking that out. Now let's go see what's over here.
They've got 2 bunks in there, and they've kind of got, it really looks like someone just got up one day and just didn't come back.
So back in the day, loggers were basically very nomadic. They kind of came and went with the lumber and the timber. And they told us yesterday, it wasn't like a lot of other things like miners and stuff where you were tied to the company you worked for because you didn't make any money and all your money was in like company. Like the loggers, they got the coins or whatever, but they could cash out and leave and move on. So like if they didn't like the foreman where they were, they just moved on to the next patch of timber or the next lumber company or whatever. So they didn't have a lot because they only had what they could take with them, which wasn't probably very much what they could carry on their back, basically. But yeah, very nomadic. Now this is a skidder set over here, so we're going to go check that out. Now I think this was used to load the lumber, so that's like a crane-like piece of machinery, and it would pick the lumber up and put it onto these flatbed cars just like you see here.
You better watch out if you're crossing these tracks because there's a train.
So yeah, you actually won't be climbing this tower. It doesn't look like anybody's climbed this tower in a long, long time. The steps look like they're not to be trusted. But hey, I got your drone footage from 400 feet up, so that's better than what I would have got you from up there. But let's go check this thing out. It looks interesting. So I think this might have been steam powered as well, but you just heard the whistle, and I think we got to get back on the train because otherwise they're going to leave us here. You get about half an hour up here, which is an adequate amount of time. I mean, I flew around, we ate some food, and we got to see everything. I think this Whittaker option is a good one if you don't have a lot of time or you don't want to spend the money to go up top. I mean, you still get to see some epic views. You get this cool experience here at the logging camp, which like when you go up to Bald Knob, you're just getting the scenic view, and that's it. Now Bald Knob, they give you a lunch on the train. Here they don't. You got to buy the stuff, but that's not a real big deal. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is just as good of an experience. I recommend doing both. I mean, come here every year and do something different.
You don't know exactly how far away.
I can't say anything.
I thought I started being able to hear it, but maybe not.
Well, that's number 11. We can tell that.
Because the whistle sounds so goofy.
Oh.
What are you thinking, Matthew? Double head on the way down?
Rescue train!
I vote for a double header.
Here it comes. Bella, here comes the train.
Hey Dylan! I see Noe!
I see that.
Alright, now we get to listen to squeaky brakes all the way down the hill. And we've had an unexpected visit from engine number 11, J number 11, right back there. Returning from her journey up to Bald Knob.
Squeaking around the turn now.
We've seen 2 deer up on our journey to Whittaker.
I think it was the same one.
No, I think it was different. The last one was more gray.
Putting on their winter coat.
Okay. We're headed back into the cast station now, so we're gonna wrap things up here, and then we'll see you over at the Green Bank. All of the whistles. You're gonna have a lot. You're gonna have a lot of whistles in this episode. We're headed over to Green Bank Observatory. Yeah, that'll be in next week's episode, I think. Because we will see you next week, Thursday at 5 o'clock, just like always. Be sure you're subscribed. We're not done with 2024 yet, that's for sure.